I am officially 45 years old as I record this. It is January 4th, 2021. And for all of you born in January, a happy birthday to you. And if you are listening to this and it just so happens to be your birthday as you listen to this, happy birthday to you. I think about my time here so far. I go through my mental checklist on days like this. It's the perfect day to reflect on your human existence. You think about what you've been through, the people you've met, the places you have been, and then all of that leads up to the moment right here. You play this over in your mind. You understand what's ahead, but then you do your best to live in the present, here and now, to enjoy the day as much as you can, to be fully engaged. And I always talk about being present. It's one of the most important things you can do, especially on a day like this, is be fully present. Smell everything if you can. Taste as much, feel as much, allow yourself to fully engage in everything that's going on. Now, some people tune days like this completely out. They tune their birthdays out because they don't want to be reminded of getting older. Well, of course, we move according to the Gregorian calendar, right? We might even be older than we actually are, or we might be younger. Who knows? But for the sake of this discussion, we flow along with the Gregorian calendar. And according to it, it is January 4th, which is the day that I came into human flesh, 1976. You think of all the people in your life that you love, family, friends, acquaintances, lovers, past, present, and future. I think of all of that. You think of all of that. But some people ignore it, and I understand that. But here's the thing that I'll give to you. For those of you that ignore your birthday due to aging or maybe some sort of negative experience attached to it, here's something that I'll give you. Let your birthday not just represent aging. Let it represent your power ignition. Let it represent more than just numbers. Because the numbers don't matter at all. It's the existence of the energy that it's inside of your body. It's the existence of your power coming into human form. It's your energy manifesting into physical form. Now, of course, there's the debate of when that actually begins, right? Because technically, it begins when the seed fertilizes the egg and the egg becomes the embryo, and that's when the process starts, right? You could have those who will debate that. So you coming out of your mother's womb is basically the beginning of you taking your first breath outside of your mother's womb. Okay, fine. So that's what this is, a celebration of that, technically, not the actual beginning of your existence. Okay, fair enough. But altogether, it's the power of where you've been and where you're going. It has more to do with what pattern you will rewrite from this point on. What will be your new pattern? You can use today to represent that. Reflect on what was, see it clearly. Use today to say, you know what? I didn't like it before. It got on my nerves before, but maybe I can start a new clean slate. For me, I love it. No shame, no regrets. But for those of you that look at this date with disdain, perhaps this is the start over. Perhaps this is the first domino that creates the ripple, or the pebble thrown into the pond. The chain reaction begins right here, right now. And what a perfect day to do it on. The birthday. The day of your first breath while in this body that you have right now. Human existence is being challenged on all fronts. It's being challenged more than any time in human history. Whatever it is that was done before was done. Nothing you can do about that. Whatever you experienced before was done. You can't do anything about that. The only thing you can do is move forward. For me, I love birthdays, not for the gifts, not for the phone calls, not for the hugs or the affection. No, I love it because it gives me an opportunity to look inward. To look inward and feel the inner part of me, appreciate its existence, and then take that and look outward as well. So looking at the complete existence. What does it mean to exist? To breathe, to feel. I have a line in a poem that says, "To be human is to feel. To be human is to feel." And so you look at that and you say, okay, this day, the day of my first breath, is when all of that came to be. And then in comes the gratitude expansion. I did an episode on this. You find the things that you are grateful for, and you expand those thoughts. You expand those things. You find it. Whatever your position is, whatever you're going through, you try and find the value, because there's always value. If you haven't found it, that means you're not looking close enough. Regardless of your situation, regardless of what's around you, regardless of what you don't have, there's value and you have to find it. And so you find it and you expand all of your energy toward being grateful for that. And that's exactly what I feel today. Grateful for every experience that has occurred to me, both high and low. The positives and the negatives are appreciated because it's a part of the story. It's the reason why I exist in human flesh. So on January 4th, 1976, I took my first breath to be in position to do exactly what it is that I'm doing right now. This is my purpose for being half human, is to give you inspiration or motivation to have an elevated and enhanced human experience. Whatever the case may be, elevation of you is always the goal. The enhancement of you is always the goal. Whether you're a stranger or someone I know, elevation and enhancement is the goal. Now that may come off strange because you're thinking, well, I don't know you. Why do you even care about my expansion and elevation? Because it's a beautiful thing to witness or hear about. I don't have to ever see you again, but to know that something had impact on you, it's a great feeling. So on this day, the day of my first breath, I challenge you to go back and look at some of these Strength Within episodes. Look at these videos and see if there's anything that you can pull. Anything that you can pull that will elevate you on a regular basis, that will guide you through the challenges ahead, that will help you to enhance this human experience and also help you connect with your inner being. So I'm hoping that as you're hearing this, you are going inside of self and really understanding how important it is to embrace all parts of you. Because the more you embrace it, the more powerful you become. And that is exactly why I'm here. To remind you of your power, your strength, and to elevate that to its highest potential. There's so much that you can do, and you are so much more than you think you are. I send healing energy to you. Whatever you're going through, you will get through it. And that's another thing too, because you look back on things that you've been through. You've been through some stuff, maybe not to this level of what you're experiencing right now, but there's a lot that you've been through that you've survived, you've overcome obstacles. Connect the dots and see all the moments. And it will bring you to this moment right here, listening to me. So if you can survive or overcome the obstacles that have connected you to this moment right here, then you can definitely overcome other obstacles that may be ahead. The obstacles are illusions. Remain in alignment with the Creator. Whatever you want to call it, the Spirit, God, whatever name you choose, remain in alignment with it. Because as I always tell you when you ask, God is in you. People ask me, how are you able to remain calm and, just kind of flow through life and not panic and worry? And there's two answers. One, meditation, which I've done very emphatically for most of my life. And the second thing would be, God is in you. So you can ask me the question 100 more times, and that will be my answer. This is not going to be mentioned excessively. It's not going to be shoved in my mind via commercials on TV. No, this is not the talk. But it's the one thing that I can say is a guarantee to work. And so I connect with it, feel it, I give attention to it, I give power to it. Where your thoughts dwell the most become the reality. Where your thoughts dwell the most become the reality. God is in you. Where your thoughts dwell the most become the reality. Where your thoughts dwell the most become the reality. God is in you. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to celebrate this day myself with all of my soul. This is your day to become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Believe in it.